Now, after yesterday's shock result in the Tory leadership contest, where previously in the lead, James Cleverly was dramatically eliminated and Robert Jenrick and Kemi Badenoch were voted through to the final two. But question marks continue over whether the announcement of the new leader should be moved forward in order to respond to Chancellor Rachel Reeves's budget at the end of the month. That's a question, and now I'll put to GBNews political editor Chris Hope. You got some meat for us.
Well, that very question I put to Bob Blackman, the chairman of the 1922 Committee of Backbench Tory MPs. He announced the results 24 hours ago. He's been speaking to me in the past hour or so, and here's what he had to say.
What do you think of colleagues who may have been lending votes here and there, and how does the favourite overnight get kicked out half a day later?
Well, we can all have conjecture about what happened and why. I noticed your reaction when I announced the results.
I couldn't believe I was laughing at myself for messing it up. I couldn't believe how wrong we'd been.
Well,
but everyone was wrong. So.
Exactly, and the fact of our position on Tuesday when James came top of the poll and then went backwards on Wednesday is hard to understand. Equally, how Tom Tugendhat's votes went from 20 votes for him on the Tuesday, almost distributed amongst Rob Jenrick and Kemi Badenoch. That was a surprise, I think, for everyone. But that's the way that colleagues chose to vote. Yeah. Now, I have to say, if I'm looking at this analytically, I'm thinking that maybe the camp that was supporting James was a bit complacent. Maybe they tried to game the system. And as I've always said, you try and game the system in an electorate like this, you have high risk.
It's the most spectacular reversal, I think, since I was in the run for Boris Johnson pulling out in 2016. No one saw that one coming, and the same again yesterday. Where next, then? Robert Jenrick wants to end this contest early, so he, if he's leader, or Kemi Badenoch, I suppose, can take on the battle of the budget when it's announced by Labour October 30th. Will you do that? I think Kemi Badenoch was against that when we asked last week.
Let me be very clear. We're not going to change the timetable that suits either candidate. The reality is this. We've got to get our membership packs, the voting packs, out to every single member. Those are going to go out by post next week.
On Tuesday, is it?
Tuesday or Wednesday. It depends on printing deadlines and so on. They should arrive by Friday or Saturday. Obviously, they'll have had the opportunity, hopefully, of watching a televised debate, which I think you're adjudicating, as it were.
That's right, GBNews.
Yep. So you'll be putting that before people vote. And we've got to get those voting packs to everyone so they can vote either electronically or post their ballots back. We've also got to get them to people who are living abroad, who are Conservative members. And there may be postal problems. We are used to this. And if there are, we've got to send out replacement packs. Were we to bring forward the contest, the huge risk to us is that not all members would have the right to vote or chance to vote. So we are not going to risk a position whereby members who are legitimately wanting to vote in the leadership contest, some may choose not to vote. That's up to them. We don't want to run the risk that people could say, my voting pack didn't arrive, I'm not been able to vote for the leader. We want to make sure everyone gets the right to vote. And that would be a huge risk if we brought the contest forward.
So, to be quite clear, the election result is announced on the 2nd of November and nothing can change that.
Correct.
now.
So we haven't decided exactly on the venue or the timing, but it will be
on that date
on the 2nd of November.
And have both parties agreed to that now?
Well, it's not a case for them agreeing.
It's what it is.
We set out a timetable, we set the rules, and the contestants abide by the rules.
Yes.
So let me be clear to both of those. I mean, neither have contacted me about this, but that is the timetable. That's what we're going to do. And by the way, I have a strong view of saying that we don't know what Rachel Reeves is going to announce, but we are suspecting increased borrowing, increased taxation, increased expenditure, etc. And Rishi Sunak, as our leader and ex-Prime Minister and ex-Chancellor, can come back and say, I warned you that she was going to do this.
He's also a reminder of the mess we're in, Labour would say. But let's not. That's the argument.
Let's be clear. There's not a mess.
They've
inherited the best economic position
ever. That's an argument for 2 weeks later. And just to be quite clear, so online voting starts next week or already?
As soon as no. Basically, members will receive a pack which will include a letter from me with instructions about how to vote electronically, the manifestos of both candidates, a ballot paper if they wish to vote by post, and then obviously they can then register their vote electronically, or they can fill in their postal ballot and return it and pay the postage, by the way, to return it to us to register that vote. If they vote electronically,
members pay.
Well, no, members have got to, if they want to do a postal vote, they've got to cover the cost. If they want to vote electronically, it's free of charge.
And just finally, looking forward, are you going to amend the rules to secure this new leader in post for a bit? Because the rules currently, 15% is it, of MPs can trigger a vote, and that's going to be low 20s.
Yeah, the fact is, there's general agreement that the threshold for calling a confidence vote in the leader is far too low, given the circumstances, particularly because the rules were constructed at a time when we had far more MPs. And so the reality is, we don't want a leader to feel threatened, particularly in the first year or so.
Well, there's no challenge allowed in the area.
So in other words, whoever is the elected leader under the existing rules could not be challenged until the 3rd of November 2025.
That's it.
Now, we will amend those rules to actually increase the threshold, and we're going to look at various. Well, I'm not
20%.
I'm not going to say what it's going to be, but it'll be. I suspect it'll be at least to 30% to enable a position whereby there'll have to be a very strong opinion in the parliamentary party.
Given the size of the party as it sits.
Well, and equally, we're going to look at whether we should look at a different position in opposition to when we're in government, because the reality is that there's one thing to replace a leader in opposition, quite another to replace the Prime Minister. And unfortunately, as you know, we've been through that a couple of times.
So it's all going to be calm in the Tory world for a bit.
Indeed.
If you can make it happen. Bob Blackman, Chairman of the 22 Committee, thank you for joining us today on GB News. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, the Raven has the last word there, Chris. Almost an ominous omen, as it were. So 2 main takeaway points from that excellent interview. First of all, there's no chance the leader announced will be brought forward to the 30th, so that won't allow the new leader to respond to the Chancellor's statement. That might be a missed opportunity to some. And the second line, very interesting. Tell us about that.
That's right. This party is now sick of leadership contests. Maybe we all are. I think some people are, certainly. They're going to lift the threshold to force a vote of no confidence in a leader from 15% of the backbench party to 30%. What that means in numbers, currently, because there's so few Tory MPs, 121, 18 could have forced a vote of no confidence. That'll be lifted to at least 30%, i.e. 36 MPs required to force a vote. So that's nearly a quarter of the party required to get a vote of no confidence. And they'll look at amending it so if the party's in government, it's even harder. I think the Tory party finally is recognising, maybe like we all have, we're a bit tired of the drama.
But 18 MPs, that's a piffling amount. That could be anarchy. But to make it hard,
a minibus.
Yeah, but to make it harder to get rid of a bad leader, is that a good thing?
Well, I think it gives them some security. The new leader, Kemi Badenoch or Robert Jenrick, cannot be challenged for the first year in post till the 3rd of November 2025. And then added to that, they're going to double this threshold. It's a good thing, I think, to secure this for people who just think this party is a bit of a joke in terms of swapping leaders.
And very quickly, got about 30 seconds. Do you think it's a mistake to delay the leader to being announced to November the 2nd? It would have been very dramatic politically to have gone straight in on the 30th.
In that interview, he goes through the reasons why not. They feel that the ballots go out next Tuesday. The GB News event for leaders is on Thursday. They vote Friday, Saturday. The problem is in the post, things go missing. If people are disenfranchised, that's even worse. So they may as well stick with where they are. They can get them all back on time. And the new leader starts in the PMQs after that Saturday, the 2nd of November.
Another cracking GB News exclusive. Thank you very much, Chris Hope, political editor. Still getting over your surprised look yesterday when that vote was announced. And Bob Blackman also noticed it.